Hey everybody, it's your Book Bud Joe here, and today I bring you the Ray Bradbury Book Tag. Now, this was created, and we were tagged, by Gareth from Books, Songs, and Other Magic, and I know how much he likes Ray Bradbury. I'm sorry to admit this, guys, to all of you out there, but I've never read a Ray Bradbury book. Is this terrible news? Are we gonna be okay? I have one. The Halloween Tree by Ray Bradbury. I mean, it's a great cover. Look at that. Has anybody read this? Gareth, have you read this book? Because as I was going through your tag, I was just like, I don't know what any of these references mean, and I felt terrible. So I guess I have to change that. Gareth, what do you recommend I start with? Something Wicked This Way Comes? Is that exciting, though? It looks boring. Please help me. Guide me. I trust you. All right? All right, so let's get into this tag, shall we? Number 1, Crime and Detective Beginnings. Choose a book based around a crime. The Secret of the Old Mill by Franklin W. Dixon. This is one of the Hardy Boys books, and I was just looking at this edition. This edition was given to me long, long ago when I was a wee little tyke by my godmother, whom I love dearly. She gave me this book because she knew that I like to read, and she knew that I liked the Hardy Boys, and so she got me this book along with some others that are very special because these are exactly how the books were published. They are not edited. They are not changed. These are how they were originally published in the 20s, I believe, 1928, I think. So I think I have to read this year just because I need to go down the nostalgia trail. Look at this font, guys. Can you see this? Look at that old font. I love it. Okay, The Secret of the Old Mill. The crime that is in this book is counterfeit money. Counterfeit money is all around, and it's becoming a problem, and they're trying to get to the bottom of it, and then someone says, stay out of that old mill. So, of course, you know the Hardy Boys, they're not going to listen to that, so they're going to go straight for it and try to solve the crimes and solve all the puzzles. I just love these. And look at the cover. Any Hardy Boys fans out there? I have some Nancy Drew as well. Not in this format, though. That'd be cool to get hers as well. I love these books. Okay, number 2, Martian Chronicles. Choose a book set on another world. Now, I've been talking about this book a lot lately. I just bought it. Never read this author, never read this book, but I have to. Red Rising by Pierce Brown. Look at this beautiful edition. I've shown this before, but gotta show it again. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. So this book is set on Mars, and they have a color-coded caste society. The Reds are the lowest of the low, and the Reds are responsible for tilling the land, making the surface, making the surface of Mars habitable for people to live on. And they're just slaves to the land, and they're just really working hard day in, day out for their future generations, and it's grueling work. But there's a little twist. On the other side of Mars, people are already living in civilized cities. So the Reds are pissed, and they're going to rise up. Red Rising. I can't wait. It sounds good. I don't usually read space, other planet books. I don't usually do that. But this one sounds fantastic. So I'm going to give it a try. Number 3, Dandelion Wine. Choose a book that reminds you of your childhood. Now, I have many, and I have many books from my actual childhood. So I choose Stuart Little. Now, I used to love this book so much when I was a kid. I remember when I was a very young kid, I did a book report on this. And the cover of my report was I traced the cover of this book on like tracing paper, and then I colored it in, and it looked great. I loved it. I still have that book report. Can you believe it? My parents gave it to me when they moved because they were cleaning out. They couldn't keep everything, so they gave each of us, all the siblings, like all their things. And this was in it, and I couldn't believe that we still had it. I remember working very hard on that report, and I just took so much pride in it. And like, I actually loved doing book reports because I'm a reader. So when they started assigning that in school, once we got old enough, I was just so excited. So this book is just very special to me. And it's, they have movies of Stuart Little now, and, it's become a little bit more modern and stuff like that. But, this original story is just what I like. And there's this big old cat that he keeps trying to get away from. I love when he goes down the river as well. So fun. Pictures by Gareth Williams. These illustrators, man, they really hit it on home, don't they? So cute, Stuart Little. Look at him. Look at him. So cute. Moving right along. Number 4, Something Wicked This Way Comes. What a great title, by the way. I've seen that all over the place. The movie, the book, never watched it, never read it. But what a great title, and it's often referenced in pop culture. In other books reference it. Something Wicked This Way Comes. That's just fantastic. Good job, Ray. Something with a witch in it. We're going to keep on the same childhood track. And I got Roald Dahl, The Witches. Okay, now I love Roald Dahl. I think that he has some of the best books for kids ever. I just love him. I think he's wonderful. The illustrations by Quentin Blake are just phenomenal. I just remember being a kid just loving each and every single one of these pages and just falling in love with his illustrations, and he just really enhances the story. Let's take a look. And his stuff is so simple too. Like, I love the simplicity of his drawings. Like, I feel like I could do this, but I couldn't though. You know what I mean? But that's what it appears like. The black and white, it's like sketching almost, right? Let's get one with one of these horrid witches. Yeah, look at this. And of course, we love the movie with Angelica Houston. That was just such a good movie. But you wanted a book with a witch in it. Well, you got a book with many witches in it. Love this. So I really like this story and how he kind of like rewrote the lore of witches. Just very cool. I just love it. Number 5, Illustrated Man. Book about or featuring your favorite illustrator. Okay, I'm not sure if this is my favorite illustrator, but wow, I'm doing a lot of kids' books here. It's not all kids' books, I swear. I love The Wizard of Oz. Do we know that by now? The person who illustrated The Wizard of Oz was W. Denslow. He's the original illustrator. We can't take anything away from him. He created this world, okay? But I prefer John R. Neal, who came just a little bit later. Okay, we have The Scarecrow of Oz by L. Frank Baum, illustrated by John R. Neal. And these images are just some of the ones that I latched onto in my early childhood, and it just set the tone for my love of fantasy. I love fantasy because of The Wizard of Oz. This is what captured my attention when I was a kid. And it made all the other things come after, like Roald Dahl, The Witches, Stuart Little, all those other things that I wound up enjoying, this was the start. The Wizard of Oz. I mean, we could just look at the cover as one example, because this is fantastic. Look at how he's there on his pole. All the crows are around him. They're not scared of him. They take advantage of him. Look, he's just chilling. I love how this whoever came up with this is phenomenal. The O and the Z inside, love it. So I'm just going to show you some illustrations really quick by John R. Neal. I'm going to take the cover off so I don't ruin this. This is quite old. Not that old, but it was from my childhood. Okay, we have all the characters here in like a little parade. Or are they doing like are they is it a parade, or are they doing like the conga? Or like feeling hot, hot, hot. Isn't that hilarious? You feeling hot, hot, hot. Yay! That's hilarious. Do that conga. Let me do that conga. In this book, we have some black and white illustrations, and we have some color plates. This illustration has a caption. The orcs seized the wicked woman in their claws and flew with her to the royal castle. I just love the colors. I love, it's just great. It's so Ozzy. Caption. Pardon me, but you are resting yourself on my nose, remarks the Scarecrow. Look at this grasshopper. Have some black and white ones, no caption. Look at all these witches. This is an orc. All right, so we'll say that that's my favorite illustrator because it really does bring back memories, and like I said, it really cemented my love of fantasy. So let's give it up for John R. Neal. Okay, next up, number 6, From the Dust Returned, book about a memorable family. This one's kind of sad, but as I was looking through my shelves, this one just stuck out. We have Anne Frank, new translation, the definitive edition, Diary of a Young Girl. I read this. Did I read it in high school? Did I read it earlier than that? I don't know, but this just stuck with me. I mean, this story is it's horrible how brave they were. And just look, the end papers are her diary in her handwriting. I mean, doesn't that just gut you? This poor girl. So this is definitely a memorable family trying to escape the Nazis and hide out in the attic beyond the bookcase, right? Wow. And I think it's just so amazing that we have her diary. Like it's so tragic and so upsetting and terrible to even think about, but like we have her diary. We shouldn't be, publishing her diary for all to see, but this is a part of history. This is part of our disgusting, ugly history, and I think we should never forget what happened to her and her family. We can't forget, just like we can't forget 9/11, because we go about our lives, and everybody's busy, everybody's tired, but we forget these catastrophic events, and we shouldn't. It's very dangerous to forget. And it's just not respectful. Like what she went through, like we should remember, and we should know her story. We should know her name. Love this. Okay, number 7, Elton John's Rocket Man, song inspired by a book or story. So I thought of one, and it's also by Elton John. Goodbye, Yellow Brick Road. I can't sing, but Goodbye, Yellow Brick Road. And that's a clear reference to The Wizard of Oz. Obviously, Yellow Brick Road. It's a nice song. I think it said the symbolism was, going towards a simpler life, leaving behind the fairy tale land and just going for a simple life. Goodbye, Yellow Brick Road. I don't need you anymore. I'm going to go back to, what does he say? Plowing my plow? I don't know. But that's a good song. I'll have to listen to that again. Number 8, We'll Always Have Paris. Choose a book set in Europe. All right, I got Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman. Set in the streets of London town, below the city streets, below the sewers. I love this book. I read this maybe 2 years ago for the first time, and what a fantastic story. Below the subway, below the trains, below the sewers, below the streets of England and London. I loved it so much. It was so good. It was like just like a real fantasy. As you can tell, I love fantasy, and this I felt was like it was like tipping its hat to the Wizard of Oz, to Alice in Wonderland, to all those great stories that came before. I really like this one. I wish he would write that sequel. What's he take? What's going on? Well, now he's a mess. All right. Number 9, Skeleton. Choose a story or a book with a plot containing body horror or a feeling of being trapped. Now I'm going to choose the one that I always choose when these questions ask for something like this. Gone to See the Riverman by Kristopher Triana. I read that a couple of years ago, and it was terrifying. It was terrifying. Very scary. I don't usually read books like that. I mean, I could take the scary, but this was just disturbing. It was like extremely disturbing. This woman is obsessed with serial killers, and she's writing to one, and then she goes to visit one in jail, and then he sends her on this mission to go get this key from his cabin and give it to the riverman. I mean, it's so scary, but there's lots of not crude, just like gross stuff in this book. Just nasty stuff, between people and between alive people and dead people. I don't know if it's exactly body horror. Like, what does that mean? Does the person have to be alive? Because there's one scene in here where she goes to his cabin to retrieve this key, and the key is in the middle of a corpse. And she has to get it, and she gets it. And it's just gross. It's just gross. So that's my selection. Number 10, Marionettes Incorporated. Choose a book or story with robots or a doppelganger in it. All right, so I got a TJ Klune book here, In the Lives of Puppets. Okay, this came out a few years ago, and this is about robots. Yeah, it is. And found family. He always does a good found family story, TJ. He's great. I'm just going to read you the back because this is funny. Deep in the heart of a peculiar forest, in a strange little home built in the branches of trees, is a family assembled from spare parts. 3 robots. Fatherly inventor android Giovanni Lawson, a pleasantly sadistic nurse machine, and a small vacuum desperate for love and attention. And a human, Victor Lawson. So, yeah, this is great. This is a great book. I really highly recommend it. And TJ has a new book coming out this month. Can't wait for that one, too. All right, so that brings us to the end of our tag. We are ready to tag some people. We're going to tag Uncommon Reader, Nicole's Bookish Nook, Bookish Chaz, and Books, Builds, and More. Tag, you're it. If you're enjoying Book Buds, please like, share, and subscribe. And last, but certainly not least, thanks for visiting Book Buds!
I miss Mary.
If his styles ain't hood, I ain't checking for him. Better be street if you're looking at me. I need a soldier. Number 8, we'll always have Putty. Putty? Parry? We'll always have Paris. I just love it. See how I could just get drawn in here and I could just forget that I'm filming a video because I just want to read this book now? Yep, that's what happens. Okay, moving right along. You only get 4. Pew, 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 pew. I need a soldier. Why am I singing that?